still under the quarantine here in my quarantine kitchen. Tonight I'm going to make a dessert. It's a Zabaglione. It's a custard, Italian style, made with eggs and sugar, traditionally with Marsala wine, but we have a little rosé we're going to use. We're going to serve that with some strawberries and some rhubarb that was in the local market, and then a little whipped cream and some toasted nuts over the top. So we have a little crunch. We want to have a little contrast. I was thinking creamy, crunchy, contrasting flavors and textures. And I just wanted to let you know that I hope you're enjoying these videos. You know, this is a really scary time for me. I've spent the last 20 years at Lombardino's. I own 3 restaurants. I'm a partner in the 2 Tipsy Cows, but I've spent about 60 hours a week in the kitchen at Lombardino's serving roughly 1,000 guests a week, and we really don't know what it's going to be like when we come back. We don't know how we're going to come back, and we don't know if we can bring our employees back and how many of them will, you know, make it through this, and even if our businesses will succeed. I mean, if we reopen and then get shut down again, there's a lot of scary stuff out there. So it's like, we just don't know. So the one thing I have done consistently for the last 30 years is cook. So that's why I've been doing these videos and just trying to have a little fun and bring a little levity to the situation. So I hope you enjoy these and you cook along with me and can take something from them. So join me while I whip up a strawberry rhubarb Zabaglione with rosé wine. Thanks. So the first step in this custard, which is a really simple dessert, I mean literally Zabaglione is 3 ingredients: egg yolks, sugar, and then another liquid, which could be wine, Marsala, champagne. I can even make it with coffee. So that custard part is really simple, but we're gonna have some fruit with it, and I have this local rhubarb that's just coming into season, which I just washed up. I'm just gonna cube this up, and we're gonna cook this with a little sugar, a pinch of salt, and a little splash of our rosé wine. That'll cook down, and then we'll pour the hot compote of rhubarb right over our fresh strawberries. For the rhubarb compote, I'm gonna put just a little splash of rosé. That's going to go into a hot saucepan. Bring that up to a simmer. I'm going to add 2 nice tablespoons of sugar, and then I'm going to add my rhubarb right into that. The rhubarb has a little bit of a bitter, tangy flavor, so it needs a little bit of sugar, a little sweetness from the wine. Then I like to give it just a pinch of sea salt. The salt makes it sing, you know? My Zabaglione is going to start with 6 egg yolks. So I'm going to crack 6 eggs into a bowl here. Remember my old trick, eggshell attracts eggshell. So if you drop any in there, you can scoop them right out. Cracked 6 eggs into this dish, and I'm just gonna kind of sift out the yolks. Leave the whites behind. We're making lots of baking projects, so we always need some egg whites around the house. Banana bread will be coming up soon. I don't know if I'll be making that, but someone's definitely making it. So we want to get all these whites out of there. So I've got my 6 yolks, and then the trick to this dish is to take an eggshell, half the shell, and I want 6 measures of my wine. And then again, 6 spoons of sugar. I'll whisk this all together over a double boiler, and we'll have a custard. So my rhubarb compote is all cooked off, and I'm going to mix that with some fresh strawberries. Just pour the hot rhubarb right over the top. That'll help the strawberries wilt It'll help all their flavors kind of commingle here. And then we'll put this in the refrigerator to cool, and we'll serve it with our custard. So I'm whisking together my egg yolks, my sugar, and my rosé wine. And I just put that over a gently simmering pot of water, forming a little double boiler. Put my heat to medium. And then this is all the work you need for this dessert. Just whisk, whisk, whisk. Come together. I've been whisking for about 3 minutes. Just keep it moving. If you leave it alone, you'll end up with scrambled eggs. It's really thickening up, just starting to show little signs of bubbles cracking the surface, and I think we're about ready. Now I'm going to check it here, keep whisking off the heat, and then I'll take a spoon. We'll see. Coats the back of a spoon. It's a nice thick custard, no lumps. Really nice, fragrant with that rosé flavor, but not overpowering. So my Zabaglione is ready. You could serve this warm, but I'm choosing today, I'm gonna serve it cold with my fruit compote. So I'm gonna put that in the fridge until it's chilled, maybe for 2-3 hours, and then I'll come back and I'll make my desserts. But it's a good thing to have in your arsenal. You can always make this ahead. It's great for parties, great for large groups. So while the custard, the Zabaglione, is cooling, as well as our strawberry rhubarb compote, I'm going to whip a little cream. Now the custard has a little bit of that raw booze flavor from the rosé, and it's nice and sweet, so we're gonna cut that with a little whipped cream. I'm gonna do this quick by hand, about a cup of cream from our friends at Sassy Cow here, local producer. Now let's give that a whisk. So my whipped cream is in stiff peaks. I'm gonna throw this in the refrigerator for a little bit. And then when everything's cool, I'll show you how we put these together in some glasses for individual servings. So to finish up our Zabaglione, I have my compote of rhubarb and strawberries. I have my custard and I have my whipped cream. Everything's been cooled. So this has a little bit of sugar, a little bit of that rosé wine, and just a pinch of salt. And now, it was about 25 years ago, it was the first time I had raspberries and strawberries with balsamic vinegar. And it really does make it pop. If you haven't had this before, it's just the best little addition right at the end. You stir that in, it adds a depth of flavor and some sweetness to your fruit. Really brings out the flavor. I'm gonna set this aside. Then I have my custard, really thickened up as it cooled down. And I'm gonna lighten this up a little bit by folding in just a little bit of whipped cream here. Just gently, kind of want to take a light folding. And this is gonna take the edge off a little bit of the flavor of the wine and the sweetness. Just a little unsweetened whipped cream. Then to build our desserts, I have 4 glasses here. We're gonna top them with some nuts, but we do have one nut allergy, so I'll do a little crushed graham cracker on that last one. We're gonna layer these in like a little parfait. I'll take a little bit of my custard. So wipe up your glasses between layers, and then we'll add another layer of the fruit, just gently on top of our custard. Just lay it in there. And then we'll alternate another layer of custard, and then we'll top it up with whipped cream. up, I'm gonna crush up just a little graham cracker. We want a little bit of texture on the top, so it's not all soft. You have the texture of the fruit, the custard, and the whipped cream we have on top. And then for our nut allergy, we have some graham crackers. And for everyone else, we have a little bit of pecan. And just because, let's put a little graham cracker on there too. It smells really good. So these you can make ahead. I would do everything ahead of time except the whipped cream and the little garnish on top. But these could be stored in your fridge and ready to go. So we have our simple Zabaglione, so an Italian custard, just made with 3 ingredients: egg yolks, sugar, and a little bit of wine. And then I topped it up with whipped cream and that simple compote of rhubarb, strawberries, and a little splash of balsamic vinegar. I'm just gonna give it a taste. That's delicious. That's real Lombardino's. I hope you dig it.